This is Monday, June 24th. There are 23 days until San Diego Comic-Con 2019. Welcome to Star Wars Talk with James, the official Star Wars podcast of the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Good evening. I am your host, James Riley, and talking Star Wars on the podcast with me tonight is, as always, Carrie Dixon.
Hey, guys.
Joining us tonight, Erin Tapkin.
Hi.
And our special guest from io9.com, Germain Lussier.
What's up, everybody? Here to talk Star Wars, all Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. So help me God.
Yes. So we're going to take comments and questions during the show. You can tweet us at SD_comic_con or use the hashtag SDConCast or the other hashtag Star Wars Talk with James. We'll be keeping an eye on the YouTube live chat as well if you wish to comment there. So first off, I'd like to say thank you so much to Carrie for getting us this Star Wars Talk with James mug. It's awesome. Sarah, our graphic designer on the podcast, designed it. So thank you so much.
She did a great job.
You did. It showed up.
No problem. I'm glad you like it.
It showed up as a surprise this week, and it was incredible. So first off, Germain, what did you think of Galaxy's Edge?
I love Galaxy's Edge for the most part. I think it's weird that it opened only half opened, you know? I love everything about it except for the Smugglers run. It's like fun. It's fun, and I like it, but I'm really gonna wait an hour to play an arcade game with people who I don't trust. Like
you're not gonna wait an hour. Did you? The reservation time had wait times as low as 5 minutes.
Yeah, but the reservations are done now, and it's been an hour the whole time. No, I wrote it when I was there. I wrote it like 3 times in a row, just getting right back in.
Oh, that's awesome.
And with friends, it's great, and I think it's still fun anyway. But and I'm excited to just get better and better at it. I know, like the first time I did it, we only got 1 canister.
Yeah.
Every time at that, we got 2 canisters, and then I found the Imagineer who designed it, and I was like, "Is 2 the maximum? Is that it?" He goes, "Yeah, it is. I kind of wanted to tell you 3 just to like make you try harder, but you can only get 2."
No, I was really excited when I was a pilot on like the 3rd or 4th time we wrote it, and I remembered that one part with the first canister where you're going to have to brake. I knew the brake was coming, and I hit it, and we did not crash.
Oh wow, awesome. That's sweet. Yeah, I haven't done left pilot yet, just right pilot, which I guess is that one. But yeah, so I really like Engineer though. You get to enjoy the ride, press the most buttons.
Yes.
When you're a pilot, it's kind of intense. You just got to like really concentrate. You're like, what am I doing here? It's not as much a ride as it is a task, but it's fun. I mean, it's fun. It's just after all that time that this is the only ride. And then of course, Savi's is like the greatest thing of all time. And the cantina though, like the hype around it, and you can only stay for a little bit. Like it's kind of annoying, but once you're there and you're just in it, it's great. Like I just like walking around, just like circling and looking at stuff, and I'm excited to go back. Like I said, only been twice. Not like Star Wars Talk with James has been there 4 times. So
did you? Oh, so you mentioned Savi's. You got to build a saber.
I did.
That's awesome.
That was my favorite thing that I got to do.
That's awesome. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to eventually, but I spent so much money already. I gotta take it myself.
I mean, like I wrote about it a little bit. It's like a religious experience. They did such a great job with it. Just like the second you get like to the front of the line, the story begins, and it's just so wonderful. And then like again, once you have that saber, you can buy other kyber crystals, change the light on the blade, and build the holocrons. It's so much fun. Even for like a near 40-year-old man myself to be like, oh, I'm going to buy this little crystal and put it in a thing. I like it.
So I have a question since we have other members on the podcast here. Erin, do you like Star Wars?
I do. I do like Star Wars. I like well, I don't know what order you want to put them in. I like the first 3 movies. I didn't see any of the prequels, and I like the new ever. No, I mean I'm familiar with them. You know, I know some of the characters, and I know kind of what happens, but I never actually saw them in the theater. And I really, really like the new ones quite a bit.
So that's what this Star Wars Talk with James is all about, is bringing in diverse opinions about Star Wars, even people who may not have seen every movie.
I'm a little ashamed. I hope you don't I hope you
It's
still
okay.
like me. Okay.
We appreciate all people who enjoy Star Wars.
Thank you. I feel accepted here.
Carrie, do you think that a pug should be introduced in some way to Star Wars canon?
I mean, I'm always here for more pugs than anything. That's my official stance.
Excellent. Hopefully that happens. Maybe we can talk to some people at Comic-Con this year, which this is actually a podcast about Comic-Con. Thank you for humoring me for the first 5 minutes of this podcast. But this is actually the SDConCast, the official podcast of the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog. And we're going to get started because we have Germain on to talk about movies. And Carrie, why don't you get us started talking about movies?
Well, before we get too far into it, let's talk about what little we do know right now. And obviously the biggest news is that in what I think is a pretty surprising move, Warner Brothers is not going there this year. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. Very surprising, especially with the slate of movies they have coming up in the next 8 months. A lot of huge comic book movies and stuff like that, which I can get into in a second. But to me, it's a surprise, but also they've been doing that $1 million, whatever it is, plus panel for so long. Have the results been there? Aquaman did really well, but Justice League didn't, and whatever else, Ready Player One, Fantastic Beasts. None of these were the runaway hits like Aquaman. So I think they're probably well, let's see how we do without it. I think that's just kind of their attitude. I think they have realized that it's no longer DC versus Marvel. Marvel has won. The game is over. Let's reset the DC stuff, at least in terms of Comic-Con. I mean, the last couple of DC movies have been great. So, and I expect that to continue with Birds of Prey and Joker and stuff like that. But so it's definitely surprising. But I think just from a logistical studio standpoint, it's well, let's save the $1 million and see what happens, And then if the movies this year don't do well, they can always come back, But yeah, they have I would just thought it would be the perfect place to introduce Robert Pattinson. They always they always had that long panel, so they would always bring out people. I mean, Dune is in production. Wonder Woman 84 is already done filming. Suicide Squad is about to start. They could introduce the people there. Kong versus Godzilla is already done filming. Birds of Prey is done filming. Joker comes out in a couple months. The movies they're leaving on the table is crazy. Now, of course, they have this horror. I forget what it's called outside. Where they're going to do Scare Diego, where they're going to do It Chapter 2 and Dr. Sleep and whatever else in that Conjuring universe is coming out. But so that'll be cool. But it's surprising, but I think in terms of strategy, it makes sense to me that you're okay, let's give it another shot. And and especially knowing the other big piece of news is that Marvel is returning this year.
Right. Yes. So on that subject, what do you think we are going to get out of Marvel this year? Because the question at this point is, yes, we know Marvel's coming, but are we going to get the whole slate? Are we going to get a couple of announcements and some other stuff? What do you think?
I think Warner Brothers knows they're going to do something massive, and that probably went with it as well. I think it's going to be news crazy like it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago when they had Thor Ragnarok and Captain Marvel and all that stuff. I think we're going to get at least 3 years of movies. All the stuff that's been out there and that they're casting and all these things, we're going to get Black Widow date and plot. We're going to get Black Panther 2. We're going to get Eternals. We're going to get Doctor Strange 2. We're going to get all those things and maybe 1 or 2 surprises beyond that. They're still not saying any of these movies are happening, even though Black Widow is literally shooting right now. Probably right now because it's in London. But anyway, they could announce a third Spider-Man. That movie will have been out for 2 weeks, and it's going to be a big hit because it's really good. But yeah, I think they're going to come back huge. And I think that is probably another factor into Warner Brothers. They're well, we could spend all this money and we could bring out Robert Pattinson, this and that. And then 4 hours later, they're going to have 75 release dates and cast members. That's just straight news. So, what are we going to? That just buries our headlines. So why are we going to spend all that money and put up all those huge screens? So, that's going to be. It's nice that we're back to the main event of Comic-Con Hall H again. But at the same time, you kind of wish you had Warner Brothers there too, because now we're going to have 2 years where we don't have that beginning and end of Saturday.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll alleviate the lines a little bit. I mean, everybody will be there Saturday for Marvel, or Friday into Saturday for Marvel.
Everyone's still going to be in the line. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make a difference.
I don't think it's different at all.
Especially, and this is a little off the top of the movies.
So,
hold on. Again, now you guys talked like Eric last week, and like Game of Thrones is going to be there, right? And The Walking Dead still, and it's still terrible. It's going to be the worst. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. No, last year, you remember how short those lines were? Like, that's not going to be the case this year at all.
What am I talking about? Never, ever underestimate. Never underestimate.
No.
So with Warner Brothers not coming, besides Marvel, who does that open the door for to like really come in with something like big and unexpected? And
yeah, well, I'll tell you who it's not going to be. This is the only kind of cool, kind of exclusive info I got for you guys. It's not going to be Star Wars. Not that that's a big revelation. D23 is a couple weeks later, but I heard that Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams, and Star Wars wanted to be a Comic-Con again. After 3 years ago with The Force Awakens and bringing everybody to the concert, they were like, let's do it again, but let's do it bigger. And they were like, well, what's bigger? And they couldn't come up with something bigger. So they're like, then we'll just not do anything. So I
Showing up is bigger.
What?
Showing up is bigger.
I think that was all I heard. So that's that. This is me speculating. I think J.J. Abrams is very, very self-conscious. And I think he knew he had a great thing there. And if he can't live up to or top that, I think that is worrisome for him. That's great for the movie. I think the movie may be really good in December. But yeah, I think he knew they had something great last time. And it was, one of those all-time moments for Comic-Con. And they thought about it again. And then they're like, there's nothing. Because really, what do? You show the movie? Like, you brought everybody out and heard, like, I guess it wasn't John Williams, but like that would have been maybe it if actually John Williams conducted it. But whatever it was in the works and it didn't end up happening.
The only thing they really had to do was maybe like give everyone a ticket to Galaxy's Edge.
You could have done, yeah, but then what? We can give that like $200 to 7,000 people. I mean,
sure, why not? I mean, how much?
They're very rich, but they're not that rich.
Well, come on, how much did that concert cost, though?
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But what is that? That's like, what is that like? $40,000? That's more than that. I'm not bad at math. But 400,000 probably more like it. But yeah. So Star Wars, it's not going to be there. It would be really cool. We'll get our D23. They'll show us some new footage from that, and that'll be there. I think though, I mean, the one other person that we do know is coming that I think could be huge is Paramount. We know Paramount is bringing like Maverick, Top Gun. We heard that at Deadline reported that. I have heard that that Terminator Dark Fate will be there, which makes all the sense in the world. And if you could bring to a panel with Tom Cruise and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton, it's pretty great. I don't know when you do it. I think they'd probably be scared to do it Saturday afternoon with Marvel coming up. Maybe Thursday. We'll find out soon enough, but I think that is the one big studio that could do something, and they've done it in the past. Remember, we talked about it every time that they were like, "Oh, here's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles panel. Oh, and here's Christopher Nolan." You're like, "What? What are you guys doing? Like, you got to promote this stuff." So, I think Terminator is going to be a big deal there this year, and maybe Tom Cruise, which would be very, very cool. But that movie doesn't come out for so long. It's weird that they were like, that movie's going to be here. It doesn't come out until next summer. But I guess, if they have some great stuff to show, it'll get people really excited. I think people are probably skeptical about Top Gun 2 these days.
Well, and we keep hoping that they might do some sort of offsite for it because, I mean, the original film actually shot at least partially in San Diego.
Yeah, right down the street, right by the hotels on the other side. Yeah, absolutely. But what are you going to do there? I mean, I think you really they do like their press there. It's probably what happens. You don't have like fans like try to go there. Where are they going to tell Hall H like, hey, everybody go get a drink at a bar that's as big as this room?
I was going to say it's a tiny, tiny place.
Tiny place. Yes. It wasn't hard for her. It was hard for Kelly McGillis to hide in that place at the end of that movie. It's like, she's right there. How did you not see her, Maverick? Yeah, but you're right. I mean, that could be it too. I think that would be fun. Or they could film a thing there. Who knows? I think you guys are right, though. It would be silly to be, like 500 yards from a place where an iconic location in that movie and not do that. Plus Miramar, everything, it all takes place down there. You're right. So like that would be cool. And maybe they don't want to split the Thunder with Terminator at that point. Who knows? But we'll see. I think they will.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for Cameron. I know he likes it.
So who else?
Yeah. I mean,
so what do we think about? Sorry. What do you think about some of the other studios? Do you think we'll see Sony this year?
Yeah. Here's the thing. This is like I had mentioned before we started. I didn't do as much research this year as I have in the past, where I can usually get a good source on this. I don't know. Sony is a weird one because they didn't do CinemaCon this year, and CinemaCon is like Comic-Con for theater owners, and they were like, oh, we don't want to show our stuff, but they could come to Comic-Con. I mean, they have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is a movie they really need to be huge hit. I don't know if you get Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio to Comic-Con, but maybe. But beyond that, Zombieland, they have the new Jumanji, they have Charlie's Angels. Bloodshot coming out early next year, which seems like a real good thing. But I just feel like in the wake of Spider-Man a couple weeks after that, I feel like they're not going to show up. Excuse me, even though they have such great potential. I feel like the same goes for Universal. They haven't been in a long time. They don't have that much coming up imminently that would be real Comic-Con-y. I mean, there's Hobbs and Shaw, which is like 2 weeks later. I mean, I died to see some Cats footage, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, I mean, which then I think, to go back to Aaron's original question, is like what takes it over, and it's the streaming services. We already know Amazon's going to have a huge presence for most of their TV stuff. Netflix is always doing something. But the question there is then, like, what movies? Is it just going to be TV? I don't think they're going to spoil Stranger Things season 3 by then. Amazon only has like 2 movies coming out that like could even fit. And Netflix has a couple, but like they have like the new Michael Bay movie coming out later this year in an undisclosed time with like Ryan Reynolds. That's like a spy movie. That could be it. I don't think they're going to bring Martin Scorsese down with like Robert De Niro. Just thinking like the big movies that they have coming out. Or maybe they just do a panel and show us some stuff that we don't know about. Like there's a movie they have out right now called Rim of the World by Mick G, which is terrible, but would have been a great Comic-Con movie. Just because it's that kind of kids, that kind of fun, Amblin-y type thing. So I would be pretty shocked if one or both of those didn't have a solid movie stuff. But even if it's at the Bayfront and not in Hall H.
That makes sense.
I would be real surprised if Sony didn't take a chance with bringing Bloodshot. It just seems like such a slam dunk to introduce Vin Diesel and to introduce that whole property, especially when they're planning on it being, 3 parts, 2 parts leading into something else. I just think it would be a shame if they didn't. But
except I agree 100%. Except that everything I've heard about it is that it's bad already. Like, I mean, again, that's just what you hear. You don't know how much these people who tell you these things in LA know what they're talking about. But I mean, you really just kind of got to look at Vin Diesel. He's like, hey, I'm on the set of Bloodshot. And it's like, why do you look like Vin Diesel? Why is your skin not white? Why don't you have your shirt off? I heard like a rumor. He was like, I'm not getting in shape for that movie. You're like, but you're Bloodshot. He is shirtless. That's his character. I don't care. I'm Vin Diesel. So we'll see. I mean, because if they did bring Bloodshot and you don't have a shot of Vin Diesel in white makeup with a red target on his chest,
right?
Did you bring Bloodshot, or
what's the point?
Furious 9, So, yeah, I mean, and I think it would be smart. Like you said, it's the right timing for it. It especially comes out like early next year. You could put the first trailer, put it online. And then like, but I think they're probably going to be cautious with it. Yeah, and then the only other kind of thing I have, which I'll I meant to look and see if I could say anything about. Well, fuck it, who cares? There's a really great movie coming out called Freaks with like Emil Hirsch, and it's kind of a like a low budget, cool superhero movie. They're going to be screening that at Comic-Con. I don't know.
Nice.
I think it's Thursday night. I'm not sure how people are going to get tickets or anything like that, but I have heard that, and the movie's very, very good, and I think people will dig it. But that's like perfect Comic-Con movie. It's a movie that's being released. It premiered at like I forget which film festival. Toronto. Was it Toronto? And then got picked up kind of by like WeGo Entertainment or something, you know. So they're just like, oh, Comic-Con, that's where people who like these kind of movies are going to be. So they're going to play it. I don't know if there's going to be any, I'm sure there'll be like a booth or like a lot of signage or stuff like that, you know, just to like get people hyped for the screening. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't even think about like what else could screen there, but I know that is going to. So there you go.
All right. Thank you.
Exciting.
Wrapping back around to Marvel, do you think we're going to get some of their Disney Plus stuff, or are they going to save that for D23?
No, yeah, I think they're going to save that for D23. I think they're in the nice position of having so much that's mysterious right now that they can do both. And then they're such a big part of the D23 panel of D23. Sorry, excuse me. The Disney Plus has this huge panel of D23. I think they, you know, there's no specific Disney Plus thing here. I think it's so I think at D23 they'll go over the same movie stuff and maybe show a couple little more things that they reveal at Comic-Con, but they don't have their own panel, so like they're part of the larger Disney panel at D23 movie panel, so they can just come out, you know, sandwich between like Rise of Skywalker and God, what else? Who knows? Too many things. And be like, oh, cool, there's a Black Widow movie coming out in 6 months or whatever. Where I think they can sort of, you know, use that those other people as like a teammates. Or Comic-Con, they're just going to be like on their own. And then the Disney Plus stuff, same thing. But yeah, so I mean, they might mention it, but I'd expect them to be pretty segmented from what I've heard.
Oh well.
I mean, you never know. I mean, people could ask. My question is, who's going to host all these panels?
Right?
It's not going to be Chris Hardwick.
Yeah.
I'll say right now.
No.
No. But,
Well, Aisha Tyler.
oh, that's right.
Did some last year and apparently did a good job. So
She did. Yeah, she did Warner Bros. Last year. She was really good. They did fine. There's plenty of talented people, you know.
grab people like Patton Oswalt and Paul Scheer. They do some pretty good moderating duties.
That was one of my favorite panels ever. It was Patton Oswalt did like a Pixar panel or like a Disney panel like 10 years ago. So good. It was like Patton Oswalt and Hayao Miyazaki, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? Like, come on, Comic-Con, more of that.
That sounds amazing.
It was good.
Right?
It was so good. Yeah.
Well,
So,
Yeah.
so I guess.
Moving up. Go ahead.
No, you can do it.
I don't know what you were going to say.
Oh, well, I'm going to say, what is, Germain, what is the number one thing that you want to see at Comic-Con this year? Either that you hope is coming or that you know is coming.
I mean, the easy answer is always Marvel, just because there's that excitement that you've been waiting all day in that room, and you know that you're going to be the first people to hear some news like that. That's always great. But now that you just guys say, I really want to talk to Tom Cruise in the bar. I just want to figure that out. I just want to do that. I think that would be, or just get the photo, right? Just have him sit there for like all Comic-Con, charge $100 a head, and just get a photo with Tom Cruise in that bar. I'd wait all day for it. My boss would be like, "Aren't you working?" I'd be like, "Tom Cruise in the bar."
What about go over to the Midway, get him in a like fighter jet, and everybody can climb up there and get a thumbs up picture. See? Why aren't we planning this stuff? Like we should be the planners.
I know. Yeah.
With unlimited budgets.
With unlimited budgets and the approval of the Church of Scientology. It's going to be perfect. Yeah. So, I mean, I would love to see that. I would love to see Arnold come out. I'd like to see Arnold come out. He's definitely been there for like Escape Plan or something. I don't remember specifically what. But Arnold, what?
Way back in the day, like in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Him and Cameron both showed up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then he definitely did.
Expendables. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Expendables. You nailed it, Karen. But yeah, it was. I'd like to see him come out for a Terminator movie. I'm very skeptical about this Terminator movie, just because it doesn't look like it ties into the other movies at all. And they're like, no, it's a complete sequel. And I'm like, really? It doesn't look like. I trust James Cameron. We'll see. Oh yeah, that's the other thing they could do. They could this is just randomly finishing my thought from before. You sandwich the Marvel movies between Avatar 2 and Rise of Skywalker, and that's all you need to do at D23, not at Comic Con. There will be no Na'vi at Comic Con. Maybe next year at Comic Con. There will be no.
Yeah, so that's
way too far out.
Another question with Marvel now owning Fox. Do you think that gets wrapped in with other studio stuff, or are they like they've been keeping Lucasfilm and Marvel and Disney separate and bringing only one or two of those here and there? Do you think they just continue on, because Fox has always been pretty consistent as well as WB? Do you think they keep bringing Fox stuff?
No, I don't think so. I think I mean, on the other hand, they have like Ad Astra, that a couple of things like Ford versus Ferrari, that's kind of unconventional, but big stars, you could bring that out. I don't see it. I feel like the Disney's treating Fox kind of like the redheaded stepchild in a lot of these things, where it's like, yeah, you have those movies and we'll release those movies and we hope those movies make money, but they're not The Lion King, they're not Maleficent 2, those are our movies. So I got a feeling that the Fox movies, will probably just get rolled into that panel at D23. I don't foresee them doing much at Comic-Con, especially with the way that Disney has been, laying people off all levels of that company. You're like, well, are they really going to make people put together a Comic-Con panel? It feels kind of superfluous. But I mean, I've been more wrong than I've been right with these kind of things. So I guess we'll find out next week when they start rolling out the schedule. And I'm always of the mindset of the more movie panels, the better. Yeah, Marvel's going to steal all the news. It's Comic-Con. It's Marvel. They've been waiting to announce this stuff since last May. So that'll steal it. But there's always a chance. There's always a chance of something really blowing people away, pulling the Scott Pilgrim 300 card. It hasn't happened in a long time, but that's why people are in that room, is to be like, oh wow, that's Bloodshot is going to be amazing. It won't be Bloodshot, but it'd be cool.
Understandable. So we've got a couple of reader questions here in the chat. So Cameron Dyson asked, how about Lionsgate and Scary Stories in the Dark?
I think there's a good chance of that. Actually, I wrote that down. They also have Rambo, and they have Lights Out, which is the Rian Johnson movie with an insane cast. And they showed a little bit of a snippet of that at CinemaCon, and it looks awesome, like modern day Clue. So I think that's actually, I forgot to bring it up. So thank you, Cameron. A very strong possibility. They're definitely pushing Scary Stories. You bring Guillermo out, Guillermo will talk up a storm. And Lionsgate's been pushing their stuff. They were pushing John Wick, they were pushing Hellboy. Hellboy didn't do well, but they've been pushing that stuff. So I think that they have probably a stronger possibility than, say, Universal or even Sony. I probably, outside of the fact that we know that Marvel will be there and Paramount will be there, I think Lionsgate is probably the next most likely in my mind.
That makes sense. And Pac-Man asked, one Fox movie you didn't mention is the Kingsmen movie that's coming out. So they do have that on their slate as well.
I don't think that started shooting yet, and it's 3 weeks away. And it takes a special movie for a studio to show that early. It's pretty rare that you get something. It's not that. I mean, it's supposed to come out in March or something, February.
February, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's if Fox has a panel, they might. I mean, the last time Fox had a panel, it was just Kingsman. So yeah, I mean, they know that that audience is there for it. So it's possible. I would say probably doubtful, but possible.
Awesome. And then I just personally want to know, so outside of panels, is there anything that you know of so far at Comic-Con that you're like excited about? Like any toys, any art, anything?
Oh God, the toys. Yeah, I already pre-ordered a Macho Man Randy Savage. Needed to get that. Yeah, I've been following.
Nice.
I've been following your site. I really want the Ghostbusters Optimus Prime. So good.
Oh, that looks amazing.
It's so good. You'd never be able to get a Hasbro toy unless that's all you do is get Hasbro toys. So they usually sell them after con. You have a pretty good track record of getting something on the drop after that. And then Funko has like a Johnny Rico from Starship Troopers pop, and I love Starship Troopers, and so I saw that and I was like, I would like that as well. So yeah, there are some good exclusives. There's one or two, like the Mario Kart from Mattel is super cool.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Yeah, there's some good ones. I haven't really I'm trying to think. Oh, I do know of one Mondo poster. I can't say. It's cool though. And I'm sure we'll get some more reveals of that pretty soon.
Yeah, we haven't gotten any Mondo yet, actually.
No, but there will be some. I'll tell you right now. I'm kind of bummed though. Is that by now we probably hear about some good activations, right? I mean, we have like the scare Diego and whatever, but there's nothing up to the level of like Westworld or Taco Bell this year, huh? So far.
It's early. Everybody every year is like, why haven't we heard about Offside yet? And I'm like, we never hear about anything until like July at the earliest, I feel like.
Okay.
So.
Right.
I mean, we know that Amazon is bringing stuff.
Right.
Three shows they mentioned, but they haven't said specifically what it's going to be, just that they're going to be taking over that area that they did last year for Jack Ryan.
That parking lot.
It's a big area. Yeah. But I just, again, even if that's like, Good Omens or whatever else it could be, it's not going to be that Westworld thing. It's not going to be the Taco Bell, like the real kind of, or like 2 years ago, that Blade Runner thing was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm a little bummed we haven't heard anything about that yet, but I mean, I trust you. You guys follow it a little closer than I do. I follow it through you guys most of the time. So we'll see. But I definitely am jonesing about a lot of the toys this year. The exclusives look super good. It's almost like back in the day when I used to go in like the early 2000s and I'd spend like $700 on toys, just like at all those booths. And that's the best part of working Comic-Con is that I save that money now. I'm like, oh, there's no way I'm going to get that Boba Fett Black Series, so screw it. I just can't have it. But I did. I pre-ordered the Macho Man as fast as I humanly could. The second it came up, I was like, I don't care, I need it. Oh, and I pre-ordered the John Connor from NECA too, because I shouldn't. But
nice.
Yeah. So really good toys this year.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Do we have any other reader questions, James? I'm looking through.
We have not really a question, but I'm going to turn it into a question. David Tapia says that he's excited for Jay and Silent Bob panel for the movie. Is there any other like smaller movies, like you mentioned Freaks, but is there any other smaller studios or independent movies that you think may be showing up that you've heard rumblings about?
I haven't heard any rumblings. You're right. I did forget about Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Which I'm very, very curious about too. I mean, I was snooched to the nooch in the 2000s. Not so much in the last couple of movies, but as long as J.J. Abrams doesn't have a panel before that, I think Kevin's probably good. So Kevin probably, if you're listening, you're good this year. He's not going to do it again. He tried, but he is not going to do it again. But yeah, but I guess he'll probably go after Marvel though. Right, that'll probably be Saturday night after Marvel.
No, I think he goes Friday nights, doesn't he?
I don't know.
I think so.
Friday nights. So I think he's safe.
All right, I hope so. Otherwise, everybody's gonna mass Exodus
because Star Wars was on Friday and he was after that. So
okay, there you go. And he said, especially if he's got a new movie, he's got footage. All the other years, he just has a Q&A, which is funny. But after a 12-hour day at Comic-Con, you're like, I need to get some food. I can't eat these nachos. I'm done. So yeah, man, I don't know. If you gave me 15 minutes, I could probably come up with something, but nothing is I'm thinking off the top of my head. But like I said, Freaks will definitely have something. Jay Silent Bob Reboot, that's a real good one. And man, I hope that's good. I still to this day quote Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back like all the time. It's the best. So.
Yeah.
Well,
apparently
it'll be a good year.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. It's one of those years where at least we know there's going to be some good stuff. In previous years, we had to speculate, you know. So that's good. I mean, it's kind of like this is down the road, but like this past Star Wars Celebration was like, oh, you have Episode 9, right? That's your hub, and you have The Mandalorian, that's your hub. And then this coming one in Anaheim, you're like, well, what's the big thing? I mean, the big thing is the anniversary of Empire Strikes Back and the Cassian Andor show, I guess. But it sold out so fast this year. It's like it's going to be. I don't think they're going to announce anything else. I mean, that's a year and change out. But it just reminds me of this not being that, where like we know we have main event level stuff. Then again, I will never doubt Lucasfilm, and I think by next August they will make everybody who bought tickets this past week very happy. But yeah, it's nice to have some obvious headliners going into Comic-Con in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not just the Fear the Walking Dead show at Hall H.
Oh, my favorite. You guys remember? You guys know I love that. Well, they'll definitely be there, though. They'll definitely be there. And walking. Oh my God, I can't get into it. I had to watch a couple episodes for work, and it was killing me.
Under the Capes asked, do you think Marvel
That's funny.
Saturday evening slot, or is it possible they'll take the first slot of the day? And I can answer that. They'll always be the last slot.
Yeah.
They're never going to give that up.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think maybe, I don't know, but somebody could slide in there Saturday morning. It'll probably be like the World of Animation or something. Like anything now is good. If you're in there that day, you're going to have a full hall. So that's always nice because you know everybody's waiting for Marvel. And the only way to do that will be to wait Friday night or whatever to get your wristband. So, yeah. So, I mean, somebody could probably take advantage. We'll see who does very, very soon.
All right.
Yeah, about a week and a half, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't think any of us are ready.
No,
it's
nobody's
okay.
ready. You're never ready until you're just never ready. You're just never ready for it. You just got to jump in.
No.
And then you promise yourself you're going to be more ready next time.
Yeah.
And then you get to this time of year, and then no, you're never ready.
No, you're like, oh, I'm going to rest up. I'm going to sleep better. I'm going to do whatever. I'm already like, oh, I'm not going to go to any parties. Not going to happen. Those haven't started rolling in yet either. So we'll see. But yeah, I just hope it's a little less crazy than other previous years. Doesn't look like it from what we've been talking about, but
no.
Yeah, no. I know.
That's one thing we can always guarantee. Comic-Con's always going to be just running from one place to another.
Yep. Camping, sitting there, waiting, being hungry, eating crappy Ralph's food. It's all mush in your backpack. Yeah. And I'm staying in.
Yeah, you've just explained Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly. And this year, this is the first year in forever I'm not staying at the Marriott or the Bayfront. I'm staying at the Spring Hill Suites, like a mile away.
Ouch.
I know. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. I'm gonna have to do bird scooters. I'm not excited about it. I haven't tried one yet. So
they have a really good free breakfast though.
Okay.
I mean, so at least you know you're gonna have that one meal if you can wake up early enough.
That's good. That's definitely good to know. And I'm sure the rooms are nice. I mean, and it's walkable. Like I said, I'm always used to it, like looking out my window and being able to see the convention center. And this year we just weren't able to get something. Well, actually, I'm the only person staying that far, me and one other guy, and everyone else is staying either at the Grand Hyatt or the Bayfront. But, the boss sometimes has to.
Was that bad luck? Or was that bad luck? Or you being a nice guy?
It's sort of both. I mean, it was more me. We have 8 people going for my own eye, 4 reporters, 4 video people. The video people need to be together so they can do equipment and stuff and be as close as possible. So they're at the Grand Hyatt, and then their editor wants to be close to them, so they got the Bayfront. But I did say, like, the Bayfront is pretty far from the Grand Hyatt. I was like, the Springfield is closer to the Grand Hyatt probably. And I was like, maybe you want to stay there? And she's like, no, I'm going to do the Bayfront. I was like, okay. Well, I gave it a shot.
You didn't.
You tried. You tried.
I was like, I got to be at Hall H more than you do. But it's okay. Oh, I'm saying 1 mile from Comic-Con. Now people are like listening to this being like, screw you. I'm like, I'm in Miramar. I'm in Top Gun down at the airport.
Yeah. Well, you can always just grab
an
Uber too. You don't have to ride those birds. I mean, who knows what's going to get crashed into on those things.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'll give it a shot on Wednesday, and if it's too much, I'll start splitting cabs, or I don't know, bring extra changes of T-shirts. That's probably the sweatbands.
There you go.
Yeah. So here we go.
Well, Germain, thank you so much for joining us on this. We always appreciate you coming on every year. We love having you.
Thank you.
So before you go, where can our readers find you online?
Yes, thank you very much, guys. You find my writing on io9.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Germain Lussier. And look for me in the back corner of Hall H, close to the bathroom, so I can get in and out in 3 weeks at San Diego Comic-Con.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Germain. Well, that was fun, right, guys?
That was.
He's up.
We got one scoop.
Yep. No Star Wars. That was your scoop. It's not a very happy scoop, but
2 scoops then. No Star Wars and the freak screening.
yes.
Oh well.
Well, hopefully we get a couple surprises. Hopefully, like you said, Lionsgate will show up. Hopefully we get a couple other things. So
hopefully. Man. Before we get to news, we had one whole Star Wars Talk with James question that came in on Twitter. It's from Trekkie Beth. I wonder who that is. And the question is, what is your favorite position on Smugglers Run? So far I've done left pilot, gunner, and engineer, and I actually like all of them, but engineer is probably like you said, you really just have to push some buttons and you can watch the rest of it. So it's fun to watch everything, but you don't do as much. So I like the pilot because you get to do more. And gunner. So there you go. I like them all. I guess I'm easy to please. All right.
There you go. Real quick, we had a couple questions in the chat that I'm going to answer. Scott Mueller asked, when will you talk about TV coming to Comic-Con? We already did 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah. I think.
We can have with Eric Goldman. You can go find that on Twitter or iTunes or anywhere else you listen to this.
There you go. It's called Television X SDCC 2019. If you're looking for the title of the podcast.
Yes.
All right. So let's get. Is that all
right? I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into news that has happened in the last 5 or 6 days since our last podcast. And the first up is we have made live today the announced autograph and signing schedule for Comic-Con this year that Lisa puts together for us. And it's basically you just go check out the site and you can get links to all of the autographs that we know about and how to get them and where to go and all of the rules that we know of. So you can go check that out on the site.
In addition, if you guys haven't checked out our Open Artist Commission post that Andy did, it is amazing. It's constantly being updated with artists who are currently accepting commissions. I would highly recommend checking out that post. If you're at all interested in art and if you're looking to get a commission, I know we had some folks that were asking what exactly is involved in getting a commission. And basically you just contact an artist and you set something up. I know, Carrie, you've done a bunch of them, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. I mean, it's not intimidating. Like, basically you just email the artist and you say, this is what I want. Is this something you could do? How much is it? Like, that's pretty much it. That's the process.
That's about it.
So don't be intimidated.
No, it's a pretty great resource though. I hope you guys check it out.
Yeah, it's super great. And as I say every single week, like, original art is one of the coolest things you can bring home from the convention. So we had a whole bunch of TV news today, and we'll get into all of that in a little bit. But don't forget that we also have our compiled list of announced TV shows at Comic-Con list. I think right now I'm up to like 96 or 97. So we'll probably be well over 100 tomorrow.
What's the, do you remember what the most we've ever had before the actual schedule is released? Do you remember that number?
I know that we usually wind up around like 300. So we're about a third of the way through, which should terrify you as much as it terrifies me.
So either we're getting ready for a tsunami of panel information or people are being more tight-lipped.
No, it always starts out pretty slow. I mean, at this point, we've still got like all the TV stuff. Like, WB is really the only ones who've announced. We've got Fox, Comedy Central, AMC, HBO, Sci-Fi brings like 17 panels. Like, the list just goes on and on. So, yeah, just never ends.
Nope.
But one of the panels that got announced today is Talks Machina. We'll be bringing the cast of Critical Role, which I know a lot of folks are excited about. And that will be on Saturday at 4 p.m. in room 6 BCF.
And FX also revealed the panels that they're going to do this year. Archer is going to have a sneak peek screening and Q&A Friday, July 19th at 5 p.m. in Indigo. What We Do in the Shadows is going to show up also for screening and Q&A Saturday at 6:30 in 6 BCF. And Mayans MC is going to be on Sunday, 1 p.m. in Hall H, also for screening and Q&A.
And History Channel is going to bring Project Blue Book, which is going to be on its second season. And I think the Hollywood Reporter had that one posted. That's on Saturday at 11 a.m. and that's in the Indigo Ballroom over at the Bayfront. Hilton Bayfront. Now, they didn't mention anyone that's going to be there, but last year it was pretty stacked. I think they had all the major players, didn't they? Aidan Gillen.
Yeah.
Ian McDonald. I think everybody was on. Michael Malarkey. Everybody good.
Yeah. So I would very much expect them to be back this year, or most of them. The interesting thing to me actually about that though is, so the Hollywood Reporter quietly added that onto their panel list today, but normally when they add history stuff, they add all of it. And so I find it very interesting that they did not add Vikings. So I don't know if that's a bad sign or what, but we will find out.
And Vikings has skipped in the past.
So have they? I don't think they have.
I'm pretty sure they have. I think they skipped 1 year.
Okay. We'll go with that.
I could be
so the biggest, So the biggest panel news we got today is obviously Warner Brothers is back with 16 different shows, which is a huge amount. Just as we've been saying, they aren't bringing their mid-season stuff. Unfortunately, that means you don't get like the 100. You don't get some of their other mid-season stuff. There's no final panel for iZombie, which sucks. But we do get a whole bunch of new stuff like Batwoman, the new Pennyworth show. Veronica Mars is going, which I'm excited about. And then all the usuals. Arrow, which will be the last panel. Supergirl, Black Lightning, The Flash, Supernatural, again, the last panel. Riverdale. DC Universe has more panels this year than they did last year. There's a whole bunch of other stuff going. We don't have cast for any of them, which is, to my knowledge, the first time Warner Brothers has ever done this where they haven't announced cast. But
it's probably pretty smart on their part. I would think it would be smart on their part, just because if they announce somebody and then that person cancels, you know, there's always a little bit of boo-hooing on the internet. So better knock down,
Absolutely.
better
Well, and
knock
I mean,
get it right in place and then announce it.
planning that many panels is just a logistical nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
I would not want to be the person responsible for that at all.
I can't imagine
No,
it.
thank you.
Nope.
Okay, so I'm so confused. I've had so many people ask me this today. Like, will the Warner Brothers panels need wristbands? No. I mean, unless they announce they're doing something crazy that we don't know about, like, no, you do not need a wristband to go to, like,
Are they confusing it with
Ballroom 20 or
with the Hall H panel or the Hall H?
I think they're confusing it.
wristbands?
No, I think they're actually confusing it with Scare Diego. That's what somebody was doing earlier. They were like, "Well,
okay.
you need to go like draw a ticket for Scare Diego," and I was like, "This is not the same thing."
Yeah.
So, yeah, I technically, I guess you will maybe need a wristband on Sunday for Hall H for Supernatural and Riverdale, but Hall H on Sunday, I mean, it has filled up, but it's not like Marvel Game of Thrones kind of line.
No, and we're going to talk about that next week when the schedule comes out. So we will discuss that once we know the full schedule for the panel room that day.
Yeah. But
Which we
like I
will
said,
do.
if you are someone, yes, but if you were someone who was thinking that because like Warner Brothers Scare Diego requires a ticket draw at a wristband and whatever else up in sales, that is not how their normal panels work. Just FYI.
And if you want to start getting in the know on things like this, our first of the Parks and Cons visual guides was posted today. This today was the on-site visual guide and tips post. There's a video and a post on the site, so you can check it out and start learning all of the deep down knowledge that Parks and Con knows about attending the con.
Especially if you haven't been there before, because getting the lay of the land, I think, is really important, and being able to like visualize what people are talking about when they're like, oh, enter by Hall H or enter by Hall C, like being able to like really see that stuff is important. And he does a good job.
He does.
All right. One of the other things that we heard about today was some Snoopy and some Peanuts news. It's one of the biggest, or I shouldn't say biggest, not biggest in size, but most popular booths. Booth 1635, that's the Peanuts booth, and they'll be doing a whole lot of Peanuts returns to San Diego celebrating the Apollo moon landing, because in case you didn't know, it's not just the Comic-Con's 50th anniversary, but it's also the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing, with Neil Armstrong being the first person to walk on the moon. So they're sort of throwing together that theme. Now, this isn't new for them at all, but they will have a bunch of, they're going to have astronaut Snoopy at the booth that you can get your picture with. So I think that's pretty great. They're also bringing back their pop-up shop on 5th Avenue, 226 5th Avenue. That's another thing. They're going to have a whole bunch of the strips that Charles Schultz had made that involve Snoopy and the gang and space and the moon and things like that. And they're also going to have a bunch of exclusives. I think the only one that they've mentioned so far was the skate deck, wasn't it? I think that's the only one.
Yeah, and we're supposed to get photos of that later this week. I would honestly, I suspect we'll get the rest of their exclusives maybe later this week.
Okay.
Maybe on Thursday, but we'll see.
Exciting stuff. Like that Peanuts booth. It's always fun.
That's right. Who doesn't love Snoopy?
Yeah.
Trying to think of an answer to that, but I can't.
Yeah.
Anything. Well, we mentioned it earlier, but Kevin Smith also confirmed that there would be a Jay and Silent Bob reboot panel in Hall H this year. Some of the people in the chat have said that his panels the last couple of years have been on Saturday, so it looks like he moved to Saturdays after the Star Wars concert fiasco in 2015 on a Friday. So. But he's going to be back. He's going to have some footage in his annual Hall H panel. So be looking forward to that. Most likely on Saturday now. Possibly on Saturday now. They could move him back Friday. Who knows? who knows what's going to happen? Like Lan said.
Who knows?
Never can tell with Comic-Con. Another thing we got was the exhibitor list and the big map that you can download. There were some surprises, I guess, some omissions. I would encourage people, even people that have been there before, to take a real good look at the map, because there has been some changes in the map. Some things have moved around with DC moving over with Warner Brothers. It's sort of shifted a lot of stuff kind of in the middle, and some things that you're used to being in one place might not be in that place. Super 7, I know, is moving away from one side to the other side, but that's something you can check out too.
Absolutely. So we've got a couple of reader questions that we're going to answer real quick. Lauren Sanchez asked, do you think maybe since Scare Diego is getting bigger, there's a chance they might move it to the convention center? I really don't. I mean, every once in a blue moon, they will move a panel to a different room. Like the last one I can really think of is that Pokemon Go, which was, I think, originally scheduled in like 6A and got moved to like Hall H because it like launched like 3 weeks before the convention and turned into the biggest thing the internet had ever seen at the time. But that's pretty rare. And also it's on preview night, and basically the only quote unquote panel that happens on preview night is the pilot screenings up in ballroom 20. So like the other rooms aren't really open, so I don't think that's going to move. I think it's going to stay off-site, and I think honestly Warner Brothers very much wants it to stay off-site. If you notice, the last couple of years they've kept their horror stuff very separate from their stuff at the convention center, and I think Warner Brothers likes it that way.
And Ian O'Hara asked, any word on SDCC shirts?
Not yet, but I would expect literally any day. Last year it launched on June 20th. Today is the 24th. I thought we were going to get it on Friday. I thought we were going to get it today. So maybe tomorrow's the lucky day. We will see. Sir Lister of Smeg asks, do you think the exclusives portal will open this week? Yes, I do, because multiple companies now have said it is opening this week. So FX said today that it's supposed to launch on Thursday, but I will say I think last year it might have launched a day late. I might be making that up.
No,
just because they had some technical difficulties, I believe.
I remember that too.
Yeah, so I think the target date is Thursday, but we'll see if that actually happens.
And then here's a
James,
booth.
you want to take the next one?
Yeah, Tyler Campbell asks, can you please explain the two different Funko booths? Short answer, no. Long answer, we'll try. So Funko has their normal booth over on the Hall G side of the convention center, where they usually sell all of their stuff. But this year they have one all the way on the other side in Hall A, apparently. And it's called the Funko Xst SDCC booth. And we are thinking that maybe that's where they're going to sell some of the Comic-Con specific exclusives, like the Toucan and the Batman with the Comic-Con bag. But we don't know if they're going to sell other things there, or if it's just, we think they are because they've mentioned that you can get the lottery for both booths, but we don't know. So essentially it's either going to be two different places you can buy everything, or one booth's going to be for a bunch of it and the other booth will be for some of it, but we don't know yet.
It is worth mentioning that one booth is specifically called Funko, and then the other booth over by the video games is called like SDCC times Funko. So at the very least, I think the Toucan and the Batman with the little Comic-Con bag, I think those will definitely be at the SDCC times Funko booth. The question is, will it be at both? And what else is going to be at that SDCC times Funko booth? Like, in my mind, I hope it's literally just like a booth with just wall-to-wall toucans. Like, nothing else.
That would be awesome.
It would be awesome, mostly because I want one. But
right.
So they should bring a lot, but we'll see what happens. All right. Let's see here. Real quick. Ronnie McCrae asked, looking at parking options, is it possible to buy a 5-day MTS pass and use their free park and ride service? Yes, it is. And in fact, we posted a thing not too long ago about their passes, which have physically gone on sale and go on sale digitally here, I think, early July. So, all right. Shall we move on to offsites?
Let's move on to offsites.
All right. So starting at first, we are doing a couple contests. First of which we are giving away a pair of tickets to HopCon. Tickets for HopCon are still on sale, but you can enter that between now and Friday at midnight, basically, to try to win. So.
And the other contest is for both of the concerts that the San Diego Symphony is putting on, the Galaxy Quest concert with composer and conductor David Newman, who is also going to be conducting Alan Silvestri's score for Back to the Future. This will be happening, what is it, on Friday and Saturday? But anyway, go to the site. You can win 2 tickets to Galaxy Quest, or you can win 2 tickets to Back to the Future.
Or both, if you're super, super lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could happen.
The next one is unfortunately one that's already sold out, but this is the Loyal Subjects Fan Jam. I think this is one that was sort of up and gone before we were even able to post about it, if I remember. But this is an event.
It was, yeah.
This is an event for fans of the Loyal Subjects, the action figure line. It's a $75 ticket, which includes dinner, drinks, giveaways, games, gifts, all kinds of things. You can still sign up to be notified in case anybody decides they don't want to go and refunds their ticket. And that's Saturday, the 20th.
Yep. Another event that sold out before we posted it was Nerd Night. It is coming back this year on Saturday night at Hotel Salomar. I don't know what's going on with Nerd Night, kids. If you saw, they posted some more things on Twitter. I don't know. If you got tickets, congrats. We hope everybody gets to keep them. I don't know. That's what I got for you on Nerd Night. But hey, it's not my fault this year. I didn't even post it. Tell it.
Your hands are completely clean. Completely clean, Carrie.
Nope. Nobody can blame me this year. So.
Another party, which again, unfortunately, is currently sold out, but you can sign up and to be notified in case some tickets become available. But this is the Level Up Pop Insiders Comic-Con kickoff party. This is a Wednesday night party, I believe. Yes, Wednesday night. And this is down at the Coin Op Gas Lamp from 7 to 10 p.m. They're going to have drinks. They say light bites, so I wouldn't expect a full meal, but they'll have unlimited retro gaming, which is pretty exciting. Giveaways, contests, a DJ, I think, a few more things, cosplay contest. Tickets were $25 plus a small fee, and like I said, they are sold out. But you can, if you go to Eventbrite, I think you can sign up to be notified in case more go on sale.
That's right. So one of our favorite events at Comic-Con is actually the Cat Cafe. It's an awesome way to unwind during the convention. I mean, seriously, walk just a little bit away and go hang out with some cats, have a cookie and some coffee. You get to sit. I'm big on sitting at Comic-Con. So the Cat Cafe is awesome. They do 45-minute slots basically all week during the convention for just $20. You can go book it now. And again, it's an awesome way to just unwind for a little bit at Comic-Con. It's a guaranteed spot. And again, you get to sit and play with cats. I mean, do you need to know anything else? And then we've got a couple reader questions. Maya Long asked, I can't remember, do you guys have separate lists for offsites needing a badge and offsites not needing, or is it just one list? So we do just have one list on our calendar, but we always put, if an event needs a badge, I would wager 90 to 95% of events don't need a badge. It's actually pretty rare anymore for things to need a badge, but if they do, we always try to list, like, you need a badge for this. But again, honestly, that's not the norm. Headless Ned Stark asked, do you think the induction for Batman at basically, do you think $250 is worth the Batman the Gathering? What do you guys think?
I don't know, because I don't really, they're not really telling you what to expect. And then there's another part of me that's like, well, it is for charity, so it shouldn't really matter what to expect. But if I'm given $250, I think maybe I want a little something out of it, maybe open bar or a dinner or something. But man, there's just no details about what's going on. Like, is Jim Lee going to be there?
There's no details. They've said. I think Jim Lee will be there. I think that's actually like the only person we know who will be there. But like, you would think that at that price, like, they would maybe announce like a couple stars who will be there, and maybe not just the ones that they're randomly tweeting at to please at their event.
I was going to mention that too. Did anybody ever respond to that? Did they get any response?
My guess is no. But I don't know. I mean, you just kind of have to, like with everything at Comic-Con, it's subjective. Like, if it's important to you to go to the inaugural event, like, maybe it's worth it. Or if you're on the fence, like, buy the $50 after party ticket and go to that. Like, you still get to go.
And it's Wednesday night, right?
Yeah, it's preview night.
So there's, I mean, if you don't have preview night tickets and you're a Batman fan and you're feeling philanthropic, there's not much else maybe going on that you're interested in, so why not?
Yep, I agree. All right, so we've got a couple other questions. George Boris asked, first time going as a professional guest in years, how does the lotto system work for them? Last year it worked the exact same way as it did for everybody else. The only people, as far as I'm aware, who were excluded last year were exhibitors. Were retailers excluded, Aaron?
No.
From the lottery?
Nope. We were
okay,
not.
so it was just exhibitors who were excluded last year. But it worked literally the same for everybody, which is basically when it opens, you can go sign up for what you want.
Yeah, I think
we do think there will be a point system this year.
I think there'll be a point system.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be a point system? Yeah. I think what we're really waiting to find out is if we're going to have separate points for exclusives and autographs, or if it's all going to be one pool of points. We have to divvy them up from there.
And we'll find out, I guess, on Thursday, probably. But my money is still on one pool, just because, again, it's not the most high-tech system.
Right.
But we'll see. You can go check out. We will see. You can go check out our offsite calendar on our site for all kinds of other offsites. Like, there's a Rick and Morty night over at Spin nightclub. There's the official Farscape party, which has meet and greets and photos and autographs with a bunch of the cast and crew from Farscape. We announced the Peanuts pop-up shop, which Aaron talked about earlier, but that's on our calendar. There's a whole bunch of other stuff on there. You can go check that out at any time. So, moving on to exclusives, right?
Yes, it is time for the exclusives, and I think, Carrie, you get to kick that one off.
All right. So, up first, our good friends at the Ninja Bot announced their exclusive for this year, and this will actually be an official Comic-Con exclusive, so it'll have the fun little sticker, but they are doing their first vinyl figure, which will be 6 inches, and it's Sparkles from their Pop Cat Fighter game. And then, just like they've done the last couple years, instead of doing buttons, they're doing stickers, but they will have a free daily giveaway at the booth. They do a different sticker each day. There's a special sticker for if you spend so much money. And they do fantastic art, and they've got a whole bunch of other stuff still to be announced. So you should definitely go check them out in small press. Plus, they're super nice people, which helps.
Absolutely. So then we have next, find it here. I was in the middle of something else, of course. Hasbro. They had quite a few things. First off, there is the Transformers BotBots Con Crew 10-pack. It's an all-new line that they're introducing. I think they said they're going to be exclusive to Amazon later this year, but they're premiering them at Comic-Con with these 10-pack that is themed to Comic-Con with such figures as Compactor and Vigitante, Captain Cartridge, Coffee Miss Prime. These things are cute little Transformers that come with, I'm assuming they come with that backpack. And it's $34.99. These things are really cool. I think these are probably one of the best things that they've had so far this year. But rivaling that is, of course, the Marvel Legends Elders of the Universe with the Grandmaster and the Collector. And of course, this is incredible that you're going to be able to get a Jeff Goldblum toy for the 2-pack is going to be $49.99. This will be awesome. And then finally, we had revealed the Little Mermaid Ariel Treasure Trove 3-pack featuring figures based on the artwork of Amy Meberson. And this will be $19.99.
Yep.
And I think that was it. Oh, there was also, there was one more. The My Little Pony Twilight Sparkle 2-pack. This will be $20, and it features Twilight Sparkle through the years.
And it's cute.
It is cute.
The Amy Meberson set though is that's really cute. I like that a lot. And we had a few new things from Monogram this week. I don't know how many different things you guys had talked about before, but one of the new ones today that they announced was the Dungeons & Dragons foam bag clip. This is a 5-piece set. It's going to feature, it has a human fighter, a demogorgon, a dwarf paladin, a really creepy looking thing, and a D20. I don't even know how to pronounce the creepy. I play D&D. I don't know how to pronounce the creepy looking thing. And then the translucent D20. So it's a whole set. The set is limited to 250 pieces, and it will be $40. One of the other sets that they also have from last week was a My Hero Academia set. This is a 3-piece set. These are also the foam bag clips. This set is limited to 300 pieces and will retail for $25.
I think
is that it?
That's it.
Is that it for Monogram? All right.
All right. So Patrick Ballesteros, who literally never stops working, he announced a new 25-cent wonder. This one is called Beast Mode, and it's got a whole bunch of your favorite Beauty and the Beast characters. So just like all of his other 25-cent wonders, it will be available on a specific day during the convention. Still TBA. We should get the schedule here probably in like a week or two. I think he's only got maybe one more 25-cent wonder to show off, or maybe he's done. But this one's really fun, and I think it'll be really popular. So.
My turn with the one of the things I'm excited about, because this is it's not my first rodeo here at Comic-Con, but it will be the first time I get the San Diego Convention Center chocolate. I've heard great things about this chocolate, and it's time for me to have some chocolate.
It's so good.
Oh, God, I'm really excited about it. They actually have 4 different kinds. We've got pictures of 3 of them. They have Stranger S'mores, which is, I think, is probably going to be my #1 choice. Milk chocolate, crispy waffles, maple syrup marshmallows. The Battle Bar, dark chocolate and raspberry crisps. Dragon Smoke, smoked dark chocolate and chipotle dust. And the 50-30 bar, which is 50 for 50 years of Comic-Con and 30 for the 30 years of the Convention Center. And that has sprinkles, birthday cake, and white chocolate. And those you can get at the concession stand right outside of Ballroom 20, and they are $5 each.
Yep.
And I'm so excited to try them.
And One Bar a Day actually has what they call a golden ticket. And if you get it, it's $100 gift certificate to Starbucks. So eat chocolate, maybe win Starbucks. I mean, yeah. How do you lose there? And again, the chocolate is amazing. It's really good.
That chocolate's made in-house, right? Like they make that, right?
Yeah.
That's
yes,
I don't know.
It is their chocolate.
I don't understand how I've missed it all these years, because they're speaking my language.
Well, we didn't even know about it until like what, 2 years ago, James? Right?
Yeah, it was two years ago that we first found out. We're like, what?
What?
I know. It's always so funny because we cover like everything at Comic-Con. And so like when there's stuff we don't know about, we're always like, oh my God, this is shocking. But it was really good. So go try it. And they're making more this year than they did last year. So yay. So Funko continued their 800,000 announcements. I have no idea where in the world we left off last time. So let's see what this photo is of. Okay, so we've got things like the Conan. We've got things like that Simpsons 2 set. We've got that Sabrina. We've got Hellboy. We've got that. I think the only true Comic-Con exclusive out of this whole bunch is that Otter. I'm doing a terrible job at this. Yeah, the Otter Pops Blue Raspberry. So again, it's just like thousands. It feels like thousands of Funko announcements. I think we've got like 73 right now, something like that. Maybe a little bit less. We're still waiting on a couple more. We pretty much know they're going to do a Star Wars round, which they've not done yet. We pretty much know they're going to do a Loungefly round, which they have not done. We all pretty much think they're going to do a Game of Thrones round. They may have a couple more. They were doing like 5 to 7 a day, so it's a little bit weird that they just like stopped. But we'll get the rest at some point.
At some point, we'll get them. Yeah, I mean,
I don't claim to understand Funko,
except for the toucan. You do want the toucan.
I want the toucan. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying like I don't understand why they were doing like 7 announcements a day, and then they were like, let's stop with like 3 to go.
Make you wait. So we also had Del Rey announce their exclusive for I think for the con, at least for the Star Wars side of things, and this is something that they've done I think the last 3 years. The Thrawn book is going to have an exclusive again. Thrawn, what is it? Thrawn Treason is the name of the book. It's the third of the new Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn. There's going to be a hardback version and an audiobook version. They're going to be $45 each, and just like last year, you're going to have to go to the booth first thing in the morning, get a wristband, and then return during the designated time later that same day to pick it up. So first wristband, then come back to the booth for either the hardback or the digital or both. And it comes with, I think you're also going to get something else that comes with it, which let me read that. They're going to get that bag and then an exclusive enamel pin featuring Thrawn Star Destroyer Chimera. It looks awesome. I got last year's book, and it's awesome. The covers are always great, and they're always going to be different than what is released generally. So this is an exclusive cover, as well as the exclusive pin and the bag, and it's really cool, and you should get it if you are a Star Wars fan.
And even if you choose the audiobook version, you still get an autograph because it comes with a card, doesn't it?
Yeah.
An autograph card.
And you can get both versions if you want as well. You just have to ask them and make sure you get a wristband for both versions because the wristband determines what you can buy.
All right. Well, we've got a couple exclusives from yesterday's, which I am very excited about. One of them anyway. This is the Ultraman Pin Set, and these are designed by my favorite artist, Tom Whalen, who you might know from Mondo pins. He's also doing some packaging work for Hasbro for the Power Rangers. But we have a Ultraman pin set. This is going to be, I think it's $15 for the set of them. And you can get those at booth 1705 from yesterday's.
Nice. And don't forget that if you want any of their Misfits item, that the pre-order ends tomorrow at midnight. So go get it. So we've got a couple of questions. Headless Ned Stark asked, where do you purchase the chocolate at? We answered that, but it's basically that concession stand right outside Ballroom 20. Pac-Man asked, will there be a random drawing for the Hasbro booth, or do you need to purchase a Hasbro Pulse Premium membership to get a better chance to win a spot? It kind of remains to be seen, actually, exactly how they filter those people in. I mean, it may be that Pulse people get certain time slots, and then SDCC lottery winners get certain time slots.
We don't know, but
Which
I would say that the Pulse membership, they've already sent out the emails to people to sign up for a time slot. And so I don't think purchasing a Pulse Premium right now may do you any good. So just enter the lottery when it comes up later this week.
And what wasn't the Pulse stuff? It wasn't for every day, right? Wasn't it just for like Thursday, Friday or something?
It was for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Friday, yeah. So no Saturday, Sundays. So we'll just kind of have to see like how it shakes out with them doing the time slots between CCI and Pulse. But honestly, even last year, like if you wanted stuff at the Hasbro booth, you basically just went later in the day and they opened the lineup to everybody. That's specifically why they didn't have late time slots in the lottery. So don't stress over that too much.
Yeah, and they were in the lottery, but as you mentioned, they didn't do anything except for like the first half of the day. So, and only for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. After Saturday and Sunday, it's wide open. It's first come, first serve.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see how it shakes out, but it'll probably be similar. Yancy Williams asked, can preview night badge holders get into the sales pavilion to get tickets to Scare Diego? Last year, no. You had to have a preview night badge in order to attend Scare Diego. Metho Payne asked, this is my first time attending pregnant. Any good tips? I mean, I don't think any of us are going to know the answer, but anybody want to take a stab?
Wear good shoes.
Actually, didn't Outside Comic Con go pregnant at least once? So maybe tweet at Outside Comic Con and see if she has any tips about things. But generally, it's just like you would anything else where if you're going to the zoo for a day or whatever else, it's similar thing. There's ways to do it that make it easier.
Yeah.
And on the
real quick, we had a couple questions about. Go ahead.
I was just going to comment. Iron Souls on the chat said that the new subscriptions for Pulse would not get you a chance to get an exclusive entry into the Pulse lottery for Comic-Con. So don't sign up hoping you can get that now.
Yeah. We had a couple questions about the Conan pops and whether they're shared or exclusive or all of that. So the ones that Funko have announced, which is like the orange one, and I think there's one more, those should not be the ones that Conan the show gives away. Those, assuming they're doing it again, should be a different group. The ones that Funko are doing will be sold at the booth, and those will also be shared with GameStop. But all of that's in our post. And then Sir Lister Smeg asked, do you need a kid's pass for a 2-year-old baby? James?
I think the answer is no, right?
No, I don't think so either. I think they have to be older than that before you have to worry about getting them a child's badge. But you can go look on the site and they answer it specifically there.
Yep. I do know that 13 is the age where you have to go from a youth badge to an adult badge.
Well, you mean a free badge to a junior badge.
That's one, yes. I knew it was something about 13.
13 is not an adult.
Sorry. Oh, well, not adult. grown up, big person.
Yeah, no. Yes, 13 is the age at which you go from a free child's badge to a junior badge, which is like a 50% off adult price badge. So we had all kinds of other exclusive news on our site this week, including Skybound announced their first exclusive. Pigpens today announced their first, I think, 3 exclusives. Symbiote Studios announced more things. Mezco has announced several things, and they've been doing pre-sales every week. We announced BFI and Co.'s full lineup this year, which looks awesome. Furry Feline is bringing back a bunch of awesome plush again this year. Poncholo has jewelry and pens for things like Power Rangers and Universal Monsters and Transformers. You can check that out on the site. Inside Editions are doing some awesome giveaways and signings with people like William Stout, who we had on this podcast a couple weeks ago, Lisa Henson, Jim Henson's daughter, a whole bunch of other really awesome folks. Entertainment Earth has some fun little wooden push puppets for Beetlejuice and Lord of the Rings. We've had so much news here in the last week, or however many days it's even been. I don't even think it's been a week, and you can find all of that fun stuff on our site.
Holy cow, so much stuff. So many things.
And that's just my 90-second recap.
Yeah, and that's just since the last podcast, which was on Wednesday, so that was only 5 days worth of news, and that's including a weekend when they usually don't reveal much. And I don't think anyone got the memo this year for the weekend, so there was a ton of news weekend.
Oh my god!
So we don't.
I purposely scheduled a work dinner on Sunday night, thinking, "Oh, it'll be quiet." That is not at all how life worked out.
But you should fake schedule a work dinner, and then you won't have to go, and then all the news will come, and you'll be ready for it.
There you go. All right. We have a couple more reader questions. Pac-Man asked, when will we know about updates on getting tickets to the Conan O'Brien show? I think I say this every single week, but look, guys, officially, Conan has not actually even said, hey, I'm going to Comic-Con. So until he does that, you're not getting tickets. So once he does that is when you should start paying attention, which I think someone said they're off until maybe the 8th or the 9th of July. So we may be getting tickets really late this year.
Yeah. And we had another question from Matthew Piazza about the SDCC X Funko or SDCC times Funko booth, which we answered earlier in the podcast. So just hit rewind and listen, or just listen to the audio when it comes out tomorrow. Yep. And I think that's about it. So we're going to wrap this up. If you or someone still needs badges to Comic-Con, all hope is not lost. We have the contest hub on our site for when all the contests are announced, and there will be more coming as it gets closer to the con. Are any of the Comic-Con eBay auctions still running, or did they finish all of those? Do we know? If they're still running, Comic-Con has been auctioning.
Yes. So check that out. I would also like to mention, if you are a big art person, now is the time to start paying attention to Under the Tents, as lots of folks have been announcing their commissions lately. And as Aaron said earlier, Andy has been doing a fantastic job with our commissions list. So if you want any sort of art from an artist, now's the time to do it.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. You do yours.
If you are an artist and you're offering commissions, if you have something, or if you're an exhibitor, if you're a small press, anybody, if you're going to have anything there and you want us to mention it, and you want us to feature your plans, please shoot us an email.
All right. So a couple of things that that we've been in the chat. John Kim says Conan did mention on his Team Coco Instagram from Ghana that he will be coming to Comic-Con 2019. So he technically has announced it, but you kind of have to be paying attention very specifically to one thing to find out. And then according to Dr. Skyhawk, the eBay auctions are running through July 12th for Comic-Con tickets. So go bid on them. They're not that expensive.
Very nice. We are doing our attendee of the week every Friday. Kara picks a new winner, and that person is featured on our site. So if you would like to be featured on our site, you can fill that out. Link is in the show notes, or it's also on our homepage in the slider if you just watch it long enough. Prize Mule returns. We added Symbiote Studios this week to our lineup. We have a super strong lineup, and we have some amazing stuff. We also showed off our buttons that we're doing this year, which I love them. I hope you guys love them too. So we will be giving those away. And yes, as Erin was just holding up her mule, Janet.
First time for Janet. I'm really excited. I'm excited to meet some people, give some stuff away.
It's fun. Like, we love Prize Mule. We love like meeting you guys. We love, for us, like, it's so entertaining, quite frankly, just to tweet. And you guys are there like that. Like, it's like magic. It's amazing. So it'll be fun. It always is. And then PaceyCon returns. What?
I just thought of something amazing. Well, earlier when we were talking about Prize Mule a few weeks ago, I said, I'm going to have to try and up the game of what we're requiring them to do. You know how one year we made someone sing a song, but mostly we just say, show up and say this thing. I found out, I figured out some of the things that I may do. I'm going to be like, okay, so first person here who comes here and brings me a burrito, or first person who grabs me a Funko toucan gets this, you know, something like that. Really make them work hard to get prize.
You're using, I think you're using Prize Mule for your own personal gain, James.
No, people will love it. Really, they will.
I think that's a hard no, but a very nice try. Good try there.
And all the
Good
best.
try. You've been overruled. I know. I just kill your dreams. So PaceyCon is back on Sunday night. We are the only after party that is actually after Comic-Con. It will be Sunday night from 6 p.m. until at least 8 p.m. Though I told the Hollywood Reporter today that it would be until 9, so we may be staying until 9. We'll have a coloring contest, and I saw one of the final proofs for the Crying Dawson one today, and it is legit. It is amazing. But we'll also have like a trivia contest. We'll have prizes. We'll have T-shirts and buttons and other stuff that we'll be giving away. So, and we'll be there, so you can come and say hi to us. And it's just,
aren't they going to have some themed drinks? Like a very special drink?
Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about that. Yeah. We will actually have
I hope I didn't spoil it.
No.
Okay. No. No, not at all. So yeah, we are taking this very seriously. We are taking the Dawson's Creek theme very seriously. I'm not sure anyone else is, but we are. So good times.
Yes, we absolutely. We take it so seriously. It's into the realm of obsessively seriously, I think. Quite possible.
Yes.
I mean, it's no Star Wars talk with James obsessively.
Yeah,
but it's getting there.
Yes, it is getting close.
Pretty much. So
speaking of Star Wars talk with James, it will be returning every week during the SDConCast. For at least one question or mention, because did we all see the mug that I got? Look at that thing. Yeah. So anyway, if you're listening to this, you're not going to see it, of course, but you can go on to online and search for pictures of it if you're really that interested. But the SDConCast schedule for the next 2 weeks is we are doing a special next Monday in 1 week. A special news-only podcast where we're just going to cover the news, no guests, news, exclusives, offsites, everything that has happened in the previous week. We're going to cover in depth. And then coming on Friday the 5th is our first Breaking Down the Schedule podcast covering preview night, Thursday and Friday. And then on Sunday, we are going to do our part 2 of Breaking Down the Schedule covering Saturday and Sunday of the schedule. And those are coming out, as I said, on July 5th and July 7th, something to entertain you over July 4th weekend.
Yeah, and those are honestly those are the best podcasts that we do all year because as someone who loves both strategizing and panels, we talk about room flow, we talk about so much. So if you've never listened to those are great panels. They help you plan so much. You can also sign up for a newsletter. We are actually sending them out weekly on Tuesdays. Oh my God.
Yes. And in closing, thank you all for joining us. And Aaron, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Bavarian Aaron. Carrie. No. Yes, Carrie. I'm asking you, right? Carrie, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
You can find me seasonally on at Carrie Dixon on Twitter, but this time of year it's just the blog Twitter, guys. James, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
I am everywhere at Dan Regal, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. And you can check out geekshotphoto.com for all the social media links and posts for my wife and I on our photography. And also thank you to Beth, our producer, for editing the show, creating the slides, and all the other little things that get this podcast done.
Yes,
thank you, Beth.
Thank you so much, Beth. We are on iTunes. If you'd like to subscribe, the links are up on the blog, or you can search for SDConCast. If you like what you've heard so far, please review us. We are also on Stitcher Radio. The link is in the show notes.
And if you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at sdcomiccon.blog@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sdconblog, or tweet us at sd_comic_con. Thank you all for listening, and everybody, go
Star Wars.
Super delay.